Hello and welcome to the Alexandra Wenman show. I am here in Watkins Bookshop in London, fancy London, with the lovely Eleanor. Thank you for joining me, lovely.
Well, thank you for coming.
So tell us a little bit about Watkins Books.
So Watkins Books is the oldest esoteric bookshop in London, possibly the world, but we haven't checked, so don't fact check us on that. It was set up in 1890 by old Mr. Watkins, John Watkins. So he was the librarian for the Theosophical Society, and he had been doing a sort of like mail order with books, and Madame Blavatsky suggested that he actually set up shop and do it as a bookshop.
So he was the original online bookshop, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Right before there was online.
Exactly, because people, this is a very kind of like niche thing, but it has like this really, so many people want to have esoteric books, they wanted occult books, they wanted really specific tomes, and they knew he was the person to go to. So it kind of evolved from this. He was already looking up books for people, he was already sourcing them, and so I guess it's literally, now we have the internet to turn to, but back in the day they were like, you know who you should speak to? John Watkins. Yeah.
But it's such a shame, isn't it? Because these days there's not that many independent bookshops left, really. It seems to be that they're dying out. So this one is such a gem, and I mean, obviously, you come down the street here, it's a little bit like walking down Diagon Alley.
Yeah.
Do you know if J.K. Rowling based Diagon Alley on this street? Because it's very similar, isn't it?
She's never confirmed it, but people do sort of. There is this theory that because she used to work around the corner in Amnesty International.
She would have been in here. Yeah.
I think so, definitely. And because, like Nicholas Flamel is referenced obviously in Harry Potter, and this would have been a great resource for her when she was planning the books. But because there's fluorescent blots obviously in the books, and the way she describes the layout, it's certainly, you can see why people would think that it was based on this shop. Allegedly it was. I feel like maybe she's mentioned it at one point, but sort of maybe never again. If you ever meet her, ask her.
I will. I'd love to interview
good bragging
her, actually.
rights for that.
It would be amazing, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a magical bookshop in a London alley, so probably.
And we're standing in one of my favourite sections. I always get drawn to this section quite a lot because you have a lot of symbolism and like the old kind of ritual stuff, the esoteric stuff. So tell us a little bit about this particular section, because this is as soon as you walk in the shop, we're here, aren't we? And it's all the like highlights, bestsellers. Exactly,
it's just the ones, the bestsellers are the stuff that does really, really well. So you've got your sort of. You've got like the Modern Witch stuff, which always does really well, but then you've got something like The Golden Dawn is up there.
Oh my god, I'm so drawn. Look at this. This has got my name all over it. High Weirdness.
I love that one.
Oh my god.
I love the covers as well. They can be such fun.
This is awesome. But the writing's really small though. It'll take me a month of Sundays to get through that.
Yes,
and I've just seen like my favourite symbol.
Ooh. It's really cute. But we've got like the latest offerings from independent publishers like Scarlet Imprint. So this is gorgeous. I mean,
they're real collector's items, aren't they?
It's like a coffee table book. You know, you just put it there and people can flip through it. So this is about the Dionysian mysteries, which is quite cool. And it's illustrated as well. I
just want to like pick them up and download all the knowledge into my head. I kind of do that a little bit. I think we spoke last time. I was like, I always buy books, build like book castles around me. And then I never read them cover to cover. I dip in and out and get the bits that I kind of need.
Exactly.
And then you kind of go, oh, I kind of already know that. I think it's sort of like we're tapping into...
just through osmosis.
It's just osmosis.
You think, I've got to buy it, and therefore the knowledge will be added.
Use it as a pillow and it will go in.
Oh my god, I used to do that. That was that old thing of like you put a book under your pillow and you dream about it. I used to do that.
I used to do it to study for exams and things. It does work.
You think it's like a life hack?
Yeah, it is. It's like on the Matrix where they plug him in. Right, I can fly a helicopter now. Fabulous.
It's the night before the exam and I haven't done anything. Don't worry, just put that giant textbook
under your pillow.
You're golden.
And you'll just channel it. It'll all be fine.
Can't say it works.
So tell us a little bit about your role here, because you're doing tours of the shop now, aren't you?
Yeah, we are, which is really fun actually, because there's so many stories to be told, and it's one of those things where like we share these tidbits with customers, so it's nice to like actually properly take people around the shop and show them like behind the scenes. So yeah, I do that with Hugh, who is also our house astrologer. We've got our readers. Everyone kind of has like a different role within the shop. So I do the social media as well, and the indie tarot and the paranormal section.
That's probably the best bit to have, right?
Yeah.
All the cool, weird, kooky stuff. We have to say, though, like, Eleanor and I, we met up a few weeks ago to film this, and lots of things went wrong with the filming and the footage, and when it came time to edit it,
Yep.
I couldn't use it. So this is our second time filming this interview, which is actually, I think, better. We're seeing that one as a dry run, and
it's
this
like
is
good vibe.
But we have to say, we are in the middle of a Mercury retrograde while we film this, and we were coming into it as we filmed the last one.
Yeah.
So we kind of, we're aware of what's going on.
Yeah, there was already a panic about a lost earring on my part.
Things going missing, things going bump in the night. And I know that last time I kept seeing this spirit walking around in the top hat and a mustache, so I think whoever he was causing a bit of havoc.
Do you see him now?
No, I can't see him now. He's not here.
Maybe he's
so
waiting downstairs.
Oh, maybe because we were downstairs but I was here when I first saw it. It's interesting though. But tell us a little bit about some of the weird and wonderful kind of stories around Watkins Books.
Well, I mean, it's been such a haven, it's been like such a centre for the London occult scene for so long. So you have this incredible, I mean, obviously nowadays we have like Treadwell's, which is just up past Seven Dials, which is great. They have a lot of talks. There's Atlantis, there's this kind of like...
I've been in and spoken to Geraldine and Bali at Atlantis. That's a great place, isn't it, as
well?
well?
A lot of fun. And there's like Buddha on a Bicycle. There is this nice community in London, but obviously back in the day there was as well. So you had like the Golden Dawn used to come here and hold their meetings in the basement, which we'll go to in a bit. Apparently Crowley at one point, or Crowley, however you pronounce it, smashed through the door here and was like, I'm taking control, I'm taking the Golden Dawn is mine now. He was like trying to stage a coup, and everyone was like,
a coup of the Golden Dawn. That's very spiritual.
Okay, Crowley. this guy back again. I don't think he succeeded.
No, it doesn't sound like it, doesn't look like it.
he used to pop in here quite a lot. There's this great story where John Watkins, so the original founder, sort of in his later years, Crowley was coming in, he was making sort of a lot of noise, and he was like, I'm going to make all the books disappear, I'm going to do this incredible magic trick. And so he got John Watkins to close his eyes, and when he opened them, the books were gone. Of course, John Watkins was going blind at the time, so like, whether or not he took advantage of that or whether the story is even real, we don't know. But so we've had a few interesting characters roaming the halls every so often, but so we've got the roots in the Theosophical Society as well. It's nice. It's nice to work in a place that has so much kind of like history and legacy to it.
Character. And so with the kinds of people that come in and out of here, what kinds of people do you see? You must kind of get to people watch quite well.
I mean, we just all sorts. Like there is something in Watkins for everyone, which is something I say a lot. But it is kind of true. So you get a lot of like tourists, which is nice. It's like a nice stop if you're seeing London, you want to experience the city. We get people coming in from like the Harry Potter tours, who are looking for various Harry Potter related things.
Now that the Muggles have awoken to their magic.
There was this kid the other day who was looking around for potions books, and she was adorable. We get a lot of kids actually, and that's fun. That's really nice as well, because like when I was young, I was going through like my witch phase when I was a teenager, digging through the internet to try and find spells and these like old forums.
Well, you had the internet. I didn't have the internet. Yeah. I had a massive copy of The Spiral Dance by Starhawk in my backpack, and I used to carry it around in my school. You know those canvas school backpacks where you write your name in marker on the back. I carried it around in my school backpack, and I used to get really scared. I'd like open it up, and I'd be like, I'm going to do a spell. And I remember I was about 14 years old, and I was like, I'm going to do a spell. And I started doing candle gazing, and stuff started to happen. And then I kind of got scared, and I kind of shut it down for another 7 years. It's always a 7-year cycle. It all reawakened when I moved to London when I was 21, so that was my next kind of calling. But it's so interesting because it all works. So it's like, whoa, come in here. This shop should come with a big instruction manual, like be careful what you wish for.
It might activate something.
It might actually work.
Stuff manifests. It's quite funny. People come in here asking for like a specific deck or a specific book, and we look around for it and it's not there, and it's like almost always it'll be like the next day
it'll come in,
2 copies will come in, and you're like, you just missed
always
them.
Get them to leave their phone number so you can tell them.
That's we do that. or we can just order it, but it's really funny how like like a day after you're looking for it, it will pop up.
It comes in.
But
it's amazing. It's, and you can, every time I come here, I'm in here for hours. I know. Last time I was, even after we stopped filming, I was here buying up half the shop.
We end up spending a lot of our money here.
Spending a lot of money, building book fortresses. It's all wonderful.
Yeah, like every time payday comes on, Carl comes up the stairs with like a book pile this big. I just kind of gather things throughout the month.
But this is what I love about it here. You have amazing sales. Like out the front, you've got books for like £1-2 that are like really good reference material. Piles of books for like £1-2 downstairs, and then you've got this incredible archive, which we're going to show you in a minute. Yeah, but should we have a look at some of the sections upstairs, and then we'll venture down? And we're going to take you on a tour of Watkins. It's such a magical shop. I love this place. So follow us. So when you come in the shop and you walk around to the right and up the back, you'll come into this lovely tarot section and oracle section. So Eleanor, what can you tell us about this part of Watkins?
Yeah, so it's this is the tarot section. We have an insane amount of tarot. It's kind of difficult to keep track of. We've also got our statues and our crystals over there, and it's a lovely little corner. It's very warm. We used to call it
trinkets, if you like a trinket. I love a trinket.
Exactly. Yeah, we call it number 13 because it used to be an esoteric centre across the road and down on number 13 Cecil Court, but then we sort of relocated it all here. So this is now number 13. So you've got your classic tarot, you've got the Rider-Waite, you've got the Thoth. But then we've also got some indie tarot decks that we've been getting in from the States, which is nice. Tarot is having such a huge renaissance right now, and there are so many incredible independent artists just creating their own decks and self-publishing. So it's really nice when we get to
like works of art, aren't they?
They really
beautiful.
Yeah.
I love what I want to show. These really old ones, like these. Tell us about these because you brought these back, haven't you? Or
yeah, no, these are fantastic. So we've got a few from, I think the earliest one is from like the 1600s, which is quite cool. So this is like the original tarocchi because it was a game, obviously, in like Italy and the Mediterranean. So that's Fala de Lubitsch. So that's like when the the whole Egyptian craze happened in the 20s, and it became
1926.
Yeah. So
look at that.
That was really sort of put into the idea of divination and the tarot. Then there's also the Solibusca, which was the...
Can you get a little gold bag in this one?
So this guy, what he does is, who prints these, he goes around the private collections of people who own the original cards.
Oh, wow.
And he gets permission from them to reprint them. So for most of these are the only copies that you can get in the world.
Just an example, look at the back.
Yeah. I really like that. It's a good deck, that one.
Newt, that is stunning.
Yeah. Then there's so the Solibusca is the tarot that the Rider-Waite was kind of inspired by. It was inspired by a lot of tarot, and Waite used his own kind of esoteric
knowledge,
machinations, to really imbue it with a lot of symbolism and meaning.
But you can feel the power coming off that one.
Yeah.
You can actually feel your hand buzzing with it. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Ooh,
it's really, really cool. It gives you a little bit of an insight into where tarot came from and how it evolved.
And I bet I bet you get to meet some colourful characters. I know you've had celebrities in and out of the shop, which we're not allowed to name. But any other interesting stories you can tell us?
So we've got stories of people coming in and trying to find inspiration. And Kate Bush came in at one point, and she was kind of drawn to this one book on the shelf, which is the Book of Life, and it's by the son of Wilhelm Reich, who was this really influential guy in America in just sort of after the war, and he had some really, really out there theories. He had this idea about orgone energy and controlling the weather, and a lot of sexual energy and magic, and then sort of channeling that. And the US government did not like him, so he had this real notoriety. But for his son, he was just this. He was his father, and they built this machine together to try and control the weather, and they called it cloud busting. And after Wilhelm Reich died, the US government actually burned a lot of his books.
Whoa.
So he, like I say, there was this notoriety. So his son wrote this very, very sweet personal perspective on him, and it really chimed with Kate Bush, and she ended up writing the song Cloud Busting based on it. And yeah, you can, so the book we still have available, but it was really cool. Apparently she was just like walking past the shelf and she just felt this cool. So
that's amazing.
You never know what you'll find and what will be inspired.
So we're here in one of the fabulous trinket cupboards as you walk into Watkins. And I mean, you've got everything in here. You've got crystals and jewellery and statues, but there's something up in this corner that Eleanor showed me last time that we can't leave before we tell this story. So tell us about this spooky story.
Yeah, so we've got some pretty cool like bone carvings. So we've got some skulls over there. We've got these gorgeous, gorgeous skeletons, and this little guy in particular.
Oh, yeah, I can feel him. Yeah.
So this little guy, he was bought and then he was returned because, according to the customer, he was haunted.
I think there's a curse.
Really, really bad dreams. So we're like, okay, fine. We put him back on the shelf.
I don't know if you can see though the detail. If I try and zoom in, there's so much detail in it. Oh yeah. I'm not
stunning.
So much drawn to wanting this. I can feel actually my head's kind of buzzing.
He's got this like energy. So he's made from horn. So it was made in Java. So we don't have a refund policy.
But two people.
But we put him back on the shelf and sold him again. And like that week, the second customer, completely disconnected to the first customer, was like, he was haunted. It gave me terrible bad dreams.
It's actually making me feel a bit sick this time. It's amazing because we told the story last time, but we were all a bit rushed.
Yeah.
Maybe he screwed with our video last time. Sweetie.
Maybe. I think he just doesn't want to leave the shop. I think he likes it here.
He likes
or
it
maybe
here.
He's just waiting for the right owner.
If you love cursed objects and you want to have nightmares, come on.
No, look at his face. He's very sweet.
I know, he's very beautiful.
He's a sweet little guy.
And the brain, I think it's just a strong energy.
I think so. Yeah, maybe.
Essentially just a very strong energy and meant for someone. I have a feeling that he's actually meant for someone who is very good doing dream work.
I mean, because that's what the dreams were.
Yeah.
So it
So
certainly
like
wasn't like a
lucid
poltergeist
dreaming
kind of thing.
or dream traveling. So, wow. Crystal skull. I love the crystal skull.
So our supplier travels around the world, mostly sort of India and Southeast Asia. A lot of our stuff is sourced from markets in Bali and Java, and there are some incredible artisans that he buys from who create there's a lot of bronze work, there's a lot of bone work and horn work because it's just sort of like offshoots from the meat industry. Yeah. So they get in their supplies and then
it's
hand
it's
carved.
not actually going to waste. It's going towards something sacred and beautiful. So
exactly, it's quite a nice.
The
crystals are very beautifully organised because my colleague is very good at organising them nicely.
These are all Lemurian quartz, aren't they?
Yes.
Blades
I think that's
of light.
That Colombian. I think that might be Lemurian. Yeah. We've got stuff from all over the world, which is pretty incredible. Take a little tour of the world in our crystal cabinet.
You can indeed. I know, it's like you come in here and I have no intention to buy a universe, and then something will inevitably speak to you. So if you're going to come, beware. But just know that you can buy things for £1. I mean, it's all price levels. So amazing. So shall we go? Oh, should we go and talk to our lovely reader, Mark, and see if you? So we do have a reader in today. They do readings here. They do talks and events actually as well. I think we should talk about that because the Watkins Talks are very famous and they do go out on the Watkins YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I'm coming on the 14th of May to talk about a beautiful book called 21 Rituals to Connect with Nature that I co-wrote with Theresa Cheung and another lady called Krysia Newman. And so please come along and see that talk because it's a free talk and we're going to be sharing beautiful processes and knowledge and wisdom about how you can bring nature into your life. I know on my personal journey at the moment I've been really affected by the 5G EMF. So going into the woods and nature is really important, and obviously nature is the inspiration for so much of this. It's in our nature to really connect to the magical. So who else have you had speaking here over the years?
Well, we had Eckhart Tolle. We had, I think, we've had a lot of people. We recently had Lisa Stell, who's done the Modern Witch Tarot. That was a lot of fun. We had Craig Hagender. who...
Hagenader?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh
yeah. He writes about trees and things.
He does.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so that,
This is the perfect place to come and connect with people, though. Really, isn't it? I mean, you with the talks and the events and the readings, and you guys are also knowledgeable, and it is a really friendly bookshop as well. Really friendly. Like, you know, I came in this morning. I got a cup of coffee. It was very nice. But yeah. So should we go and talk to Mark and see what our lovely reader has to say? So come into the temple, into the parlour. So am I going to win the lottery next week?
No.
If I know the odds are stacked against me.
I don't even have to tell you for that.
And how long have you been at Watkins for, Mark?
At Watkins, I guess it's 12 years. No, 13 years now.
13 years. Wow. So you've seen a lot of people come and go through here in your time.
Where else can you sit here and hear people talking about the wildest temples in Egypt, temples in South America, the ascent of Mount Carmel, you know, anything and everything. Not to mention the obligatory schizophrenics and so on.
Yeah, just those passing by.
Oh yeah.
Amazing.
Usually the most interesting ones.
Amazing. Thank you so much,
You're
Mark.
welcome,
Have a
dear.
wonderful day.
I will.
Curtain closes.
The curtain closes. Okay, so we're standing at this very exciting cabinet in Watkins Bookshop, and this is the fabulous Antiquarian and Reference section. So what can we expect to find in here, Eleanor?
Yeah, so we've got a lot of our limited edition and deluxe edition books. So there's some really gorgeous sort of leather-bound marbled cover. Yeah, this is actually like a case. It comes in a case. They're really stunning, these books, and a lot of them are sort of limited to like a few hundred copies, and we've still got a few. So,
Can I show you?
yeah.
Oh, beautiful detail.
They're just like, they're so wonderful to look at and hold. You're like, this is
They
a book,
feel
you
so
know.
special, don't they?
You're like, this is what books should look like. So a lot of these are done by independent publishers, and they create these deluxe editions of certain books, and some of them are sort of reprints of very old esoteric books, some of them are new.
Wow.
They range in price. The last time when we were here, you managed to pick out, I think, the most expensive
I think it was like
book.
£1,000.
It was about
wasn't
that,
it?
yeah.
£1,000 book.
Well
but you know, you also get £1.
That's the range.
That's the balance of all things, isn't it?
We've taken a lot of second-hand books, so some really fun stuff in here will be like, we've got some astrological ones that are quite rare and difficult to find, that someone just sort of had in their collection and came and sold us.
Oh, wow.
So that's how we source a lot of the stuff. It's just like people who happen to find, you know, like, oh, let's have a look through the loft. Oh, what's this astrology book? Let's just take it to Watkins. Oh, wow, it's actually
Worth something.
worth a
Wow.
penny. Or it's like, oh yeah, that's fun, but we got a new copy over there, so that's a 50p book, you know.
So you do buy stuff in as well, and if it's like one off, I guess it will go in this cabinet or the reference or.
Yeah, we just have to. We go through a process of looking it up and working out. I mean, obviously, there's our booksellers and book buyers have a lot of knowledge anyway, so a lot of the time they can just eyeball a book and know.
And they'll know.
Yeah, but we also, you know, we'll compare it. We'll see what it's going for online, and then we'll usually like maybe take it down a bit, or we'll just see how much demand there is for it, and that's how we kind of work out how to price them, the stuff that we buy. So yeah, it's a process.
It's a process. You've got the complete Golden Dawn system up there. You've got Crowley's Magic. You've got what else have we got in here that's amazing?
I love the Moonchild of Yeset.
Oh,
it's just like the cover is stunning.
Oh wow!
We have the gold
Hyperchemistry. Look at that.
What's this? Masonic Hermetic Kabbalistic. Oh yes, this is Manly People.
Oh, that's Manly People.
I think this is
yeah,
the
we
one.
talked about this.
This is $4.95.
Yeah. What a
This
total!
is-
And this has got collections of all the ancient mystery schools in it, doesn't it? It's like,
It does.
wow.
So this is someone will have just like had this and sold it to us, and whether they knew what they had.
They obviously didn't know what they
Yeah.
had. Is that Flamel there? No.
Yeah, I think so.
We've opened
Just
it.
Peeking away. This is so.
Look
They
at that.
they look great.
Alchemy.
At one point
Hermeticism.
we had this incredible like collection of the Spiritualist newspaper from 1870 as a volume, and I'm annoyed that escaped my collection. We also have, as you said, our reference section. So this is the Watkins Books Museum Archives. These aren't for sale. And a lot of these are books that we published because even as far back as sort of like turn of the century, Watkins was also publishing books. So last time I got you to guess which one was the first book that we published, so we're not going to get like the fresh...
And of course I got it right, because I'm really psychic.
Sure.
But it isn't what you think it's
really
going to be. This is
really
the weirdest
not,
thing.
yeah.
It's like you're looking at all this Egyptian stuff and the Seven Rays and Alice Bailey and all
thrice
this
great Hermes
amazing
and
stuff
like that,
and then in
what
the
it
corner
is the West Indian stalk-eyed crustacean.
Book on crustaceans. Very
We branched
spiritual.
out from
Yeah,
there.
the Cancerians would love that one.
Yeah.
Cancerians among us, come and have a look at this book.
But
But
yeah.
I mean, it's so amazing. It's the subtle body. You've got all the theory of eternal life. There's so much here, and you can just come and access this as a
You really
reference,
can.
can't you?
Yeah. So obviously we invite people to just like sit at the table and read them if they want to use this, because I think it's really important that this stuff is kept and made accessible.
Yeah.
And a lot of these books, you can't find anymore. So yeah.
John, you've got John Dee. You've got everything
Oh, yeah.
here. I mean, it's just phenomenal. How brilliant! What a great. What a privilege to have a sneaky peek in these cupboards. It's fantastic.
It's a lot of fun down here. You can just get completely lost. I mean, and for all of these like really sort of high level stuff, my favourite thing that I got from, I think the only thing I've got from the antiquarian cupboard is this pamphlet from the 70s, which was an occultist's response to Dungeons and Dragons and other roleplay games, and it's talking about how like these new games are great, but they don't understand what magic is, and here are my kind of like suggestions as to how you can draw from actual occultism, and it goes all the way through, and it's really cool. There are gorgeous illustrations. One of the illustrations has like a female DM dungeon master leading the game, which I don't know, that just for me, I was...
that is amazing.
Especially back then, it was seen as like a really masculine thing.
Well,
so.
I always say it is like a game, this kind of spiritual path, because it's like we're in a sort of a computer game, and you've got to go through all the obstacles and find your way through like a maze. Like life itself is kind of like a maze, right, or an initiation of sorts. So,
but there's this
what a
wonderful
great analogy.
Yeah, that definitely. And there's also like a great intersection between like fictional magic and sort of like real world occultism, and you'll see it depends on sort of what you're looking at.
Well, abracadabra.
Yeah.
How many people use that, and it is a real.
Exactly.
It's real magic.
Exactly.
It is.
And certain things will draw from it more than others. And if you look at how D&D is nowadays, they actually did incorporate a lot of that. You've got the spell ingredients. You've got thinking about how long it takes to cast a spell, what you're channeling from. They did a huge amount of research to pull this game together. So it was really cool to see this leaflet that was published at the time, thinking like this was literally. Wow. Occultists talking to people creating fiction and
giving
bringing them
them their
together.
tips.
Yeah. So there's all of this stuff in Watkins that you wouldn't expect, but that one is no longer for sale because it's mine.
You can't have it. But what I love is that some of these practices, some of the books here and some of the practices in these books are ancient practices, and they're actually, some of them are like pagan indigenous, aren't they, to this
Oh yeah.
this area of Britain as well.
Yeah. I mean, we've got the Western mysticism section, which has a lot of like Celtic stuff in, and Arthurian tradition. Yeah, that one's gonna go because there's a new movie coming out, The Green Knight from A24, which looks really cool.
Let's go to this section. I think we need
Yeah.
to show people some stuff.
This is occultism. This is Western mysticism, witchcraft. This is the magic bit of the magic shop. And we've got some. This is curated really beautifully by our manager Carsten and Carl and anyone else who kind of like, we sort of recommend books every so often to order in, but just we've got some wonderful things. I mean, we've got like Gordon White's Starships, which is his incredible book on like an anthropological look at magic and the history of spiritualism. I'm not selling it very well, but it's a really good book.
Beautiful book.
But then we've also obviously Crowley's poking around here somewhere. We've got chaos magic up there. We've got like Solemnic magic and grimoires. The grimoire section is very well tended to.
Israel Regardie as well.
Of course. So I mean, we've even got like the Black Mirror book.
Wow.
Here. So these are, I think it's an anthology of sort of stories and things inspired by Black Mirror, and also an examination of the show, and essays and stuff. So like we've got these contemporary books rubbing shoulders with like the oldest grimoires.
Ancient
So
stuff.
it's pretty amazing.
What's your favourite one? Your favourite witchcraft book? Anything?
I really, really love. Okay, you know what I love?
Oh, look at this tome. Wow.
Judica Isles is incredible. So, I mean, I just like referencing spells if I'm gonna do anything like that. And she's taken this incredible like research.
I think I might have this at home.
Yeah.
Oh no, I've got the witchcraft one.
The other one, yeah.
Oh my god, there's so many spells
The
in
Spirit
here.
Encyclopedia. I think
Magic seduction tips. Do you want to have a look?
I might.
it's incredible. I would highly
we're
recommend it. She's researched. She's gone all the way through the world and sort of current and recent history and even like really ancient spells.
Everyone
are in there
needs
as well.
that in there.
And that's
It's an excellent compendium, and it's a huge variety of spells, because a lot of spell books you'll get like a few cherry picked ones, you'll get like some newly created ones, but this one is just like anything you possibly want is in there. And,
Wow.
it's an excellent reference.
And we were saying it's just so many different roads and threads that you can follow to kind of find your own path and understand it all, isn't it? It's like an endless.
yeah. It's funny how every time I'm in London I end up back in the store.
I know.
Like a magnet.
yeah, like a magnet.
And it's also funny is I walked in and I found the exact book that I need for my brother. Okay.
We were just saying, they call to you. You'll just walk in. It's so many books, and you'll feel the one that you need. So there you go. That's amazing. So someone's actually now got the spell book, which is great.
Yeah.
So this is actually working. We're attracting people to the right books for them. So here we are in channeling, and sort of bordering on channeling and paranormal here in esoteric. We're in the depths of it all now. So this is your section, my lovely, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, it is. So
Aliens and the unexplained. I'm sorry. I'm so excited. This is amazing. There's so much cool.
That's actually like a really good. They've got some monsters and creatures over there in the same series.
God, look at these
Mysterium is super fun. So this is like just tales of sort of oddities and weirdness throughout the world. And
I love this dodging energy vampires. I think a lot of us need.
So paranormal it goes from like astral travel, ESP, psychic defense, past lives, and then we've got like, so that's why we have like sort of
I have Dion Fortune's psychic self-defense. That actually got me out of a few tricky situations.
Gotta have Dion Fortune. And then this is the kind of a new addition to the section, which is like this is my ghost shelf.
Ghosts. Oh, look at all the haunting.
I love it so much.
Testimony of Light. That one looks amazing.
Yeah, that one I don't know if that's the right place, but
Phenomena
is incredible. So this is an incredible book. It was listed
Phenomena.
for a prize somewhere, but it's about the FBI, the US government's investigation into psychic phenomenon and whether or not they could use it and weaponize it.
They do use it, and they do weaponize it. I have to tell you, I had on this topic an experience where I was working with Merkaba energy, Merkaba technology, and awakening the light body, and I was in the Lake District up in Cumbria, yes. And we'd done all this Merkaba work in a group of 24 of us, and then I went with a friend for dinner. And I've probably told this on camera before, I can't remember, but we're sitting at dinner, and as I see spirit, kind of in the same way, I saw it was a really high ceiling, so there's no way someone was standing on the ground looking in, because this window was up in the roof, and I saw these two men that looked like they were a spirit looking in at me in the window, and I'm looking, and I thought, they're not in spirit.
Those are actual people.
These are actual people. I think I'm having telepathic or remote viewing telepathic communication. And I looked at them, and then I realised, oh my God, they were like Secret Service. They had earpieces. They were in suits. And I just looked at them, and then I saw they were looking at me, all confused, going, "Who's this woman?" And I went, and like shut myself down. And I have had times where also I've been pulled out of my body in the night. Not when I was sleeping in my own bed, but I was sleeping in a friend's bed. It turned out she had a relative who'd been in the Secret Service, and it was something to do with they still had access to the family. They were pulling her out of her bed at night. I mean, probably shouldn't be talking about all this on camera, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it all happened. I have to say, it happens.
I mean, that book is really rigorously researched, and these are sort of files that were opened after a while because the statute of limitations ended. And
well, they had MK Ultra.
Yes,
they
there's
admitted
a little bit
to
of
all
that
of
in there
that.
as well. Yeah.
So we know it happens,
really cool.
and we know they weaponize it and they use it.
So that's a really cool book. I really
Wow.
also love. This is possibly my favourite book of the section.
Gorgeous book.
This is published actually by the Tate, and it's an incredible anthropological, historical look at the just the concept of the ghost in sort of the history of the British Isles and how it's evolved and how why we respond to ghosts, like the idea of ghosts that we have and why it's not sort of, there's this very British perception of ghosts as them being just like, oh, a fun little spooky thing, and there being like a difference between sort of poltergeist and malevolent spirits and just your gran who's sitting at the table having a cup of tea with you, and it's a really interesting sociological and anthropological look at how those ideas evolved and why.
Wow,
it's great. I mean, I really like to take this kind of like almost Darwinian sort of perspective of I like to take, well, I guess it's like the difference between the Doyleist perspective and the Watsonian perspective. I like to look at things from inside, but also like have a look at things from outside and think, okay, well, sociologically, how does this work and stuff like that. So
what is it doing to...
There's a lot of a mix of that in the paranormal section. I've got a real kind of crossover between people examining from the inside and the out.
Channeling. This is my favorite section because I love channeling. It's one of my favorite things to do. What can you tell us about this section? Because obviously you'll have so many different kind of topics are covered in this section.
So it goes from angel work. So like one of our readers, Wendy, is an angel channeler. So her book is up in here as well.
Oh, wow.
Got spirit guides. Goes down to obviously Dolores Cannon. Her series, the Convoluted Universe, is there as well as her other books.
Brilliant.
And then I have put sort of Gordon Smith and some life after death stuff in there, but I might move that because
some of it is there is crossover.
It does
crossover,
and one of the major challenges in curating the bookshop is working out where to put the crossover things, and also just like working out how to categorize things. So obviously shamanism, we've got a bunch of stuff in there that could also be in ancient civilizations or myth and legend, or even in sort of hermetic arts. Like it all kind of,
it's holographic. It's all very multi-dimensional.
I mean, anyone who's like a librarian who's works in curation knows that things are never as easily categorized as we like to think, and like that's one of the major challenges in working in a bookshop is making sure that it's coherent, making sure that when people come in here they can immediately find what they're looking for, and they know instinctively which section to go to. So you have to have an incredible knowledge of the topics themselves, and in just working out where they should go, and then also in sort of the paths that people take through the shop, and because then you've got like, where do we position it in the shop, I mean, this is one of the most popular sections, but it's all the way over here, but because things have to be arranged in a way so it's like a flow of ideas as well. It's like there's so many cool things.
I quite like that it's tucked away here though. You can kind of come in for people that are a bit shy about looking at things like that. It's really nice. It feels like a safe little corner to kind of delve in. I love that it's angels and spirit guides and and of course
Course in Miracles. I think White Eagle is in the esoteric teachings.
It's like the wisdom that you can channel. We were just talking to a guy, the guy that came into the shop and was really drawn to the spell book, and he was talking about getting insights and visions and memories of things that he didn't learn, and that is essentially what channeling is, channeling higher wisdom. I always think channeling first is connecting you to your divine self, that pure alignment to divine kind of everythingness, and then the guides of course are at different dimensional levels that will come in and help you, but to me channeling is very different from trance mediumship. It's not like something taking over you. It is you just, it's kind of a beautiful symbiotic integration of consciousness. It's like I see it like a tablet dissolving in water, like you're kind of just dissolving into this other energy, and it's beautiful.
It's wonderful, and because that's the thing, I've got like I have like a crossover of mediumship and channeling in the channeling section, which I should probably recategorize, but it is interesting how they are very distinct things, and yet they can
They can. But you can use both at the same time.
Yeah,
so
they do kind of. There is a point where they intersect. So
my experience of mediumship is it is really only to do with people who've had a human existence that have passed over, and usually in the astral plane, so like around the fourth dimension. Whereas channeling, most spiritualist churches don't go deeper into channeling, where you're channeling light guides and star beings and that kind of thing. So
and the Akashic
records and stuff. So I do the whole
the
whole thing, and I did
tap into all of it.
I did interview a Watkins author, amazing Watkins author recently, actually, Claire Broad, amazing woman, and she is a medium. Well, she's a working medium, but she is actually a channel, and we had this fantastic conversation, which I've filmed, which I'm about to put out. So if you, after you watch this, go and check out my interview with Claire, because she's fantastic. We talk about the fact that we're both channeling this wisdom, but that in her working life she's a medium, she does mediumship, but the rest of it is just for her. She keeps that kind of just for her.
It's quite cool, actually.
Whereas in my working life, it's all and everything.
You go where you go.
I'm like, damn, why didn't I put a lid on that? No, but it's amazing, and it is, as we said, something for everyone. So fantastic.
Great.
There you have it. Eleanor, thank you so much for showing me around Watkins Books today. What an amazing magical mystery tour it's been.
Yeah, it's been fun. Thank you very much for coming.
So for people who want to come and visit Watkins Books, can you just share the address and the website?
Yes, so it's 19 to 21 Cecil Court, near Leicester Square. You can walk it from Leicester Square or Covent Garden and Charing Cross. We're online. I think the website is watkinsbooks.com. We're also on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We've got a phone number.
Amazing. And check out Watkins Publishing too, which is obviously the publishing house, because there's a wealth of amazing authors.
Yeah.
Some of them I've interviewed, so Claire Broad, Camilla Dallarat, Theresa Cheung. I've interviewed. So I'll share all the links below to some of those interviews with wonderful Watkins authors. And thank you so much for speaking to me.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for watching. So Eleanor, show us what you've got around the shop now. We've got some cool little bits that people might notice when they come into Watkins.
We tend to just stick stuff on the walls that we really like. So there was a panel in I think Providence by Alan Moore that actually has Watkins in it. If you can zoom in, so you can actually see the shop front there, and it mentions Watkins Books. So we printed that out, put that on the wall. There's just some really fun things. We've got what kind of it over there, on the door, what kind of existentialist are you, which is a fun game we play sometimes. We just look at
brilliant,
whether you're it's
what's the astrology chart? Is that Watkins astrology chart?
I don't know, you'd have to ask you. January 13th, 1866, possibly Mr. Watkins's.
Oh, Mr. Watkins astrology chart.
Maybe.
We're going backstage now. Ooh, follow me, come with me. This is look how Diagon Alley is this. This is amazing.
It's a bit of a avalanche risk here, but this is how we get our books.
Wow. So that's the street, and the books come in down that chute. That's amazing.
Yeah, literally, someone just yells timber and we just rush in and we're like, oh no.
So I think you should go up there and slide down now.
I really want to. You really shouldn't tempt me, because I've wanted to since I started working here, but I'm pretty sure I break this slide.
Yeah. I used to do it in the laundry chute in our old house in Australia. Look at all the reference.
Oh, Darth Vader's been moved.
Oh no.
That's disgraceful.
Oh, he's got a hat on.
He's usually right there in the centre, so as soon as you come in the door you see Darth.
Oh, Darth, I'm sorry. I feel like I'm on the Big Bang Theory at the moment. This is all... And you can see the street above us. This is so,
It's lovely when it rains.
magical mystery tour. Amazing. Thank you so much for showing us behind the scenes in here. It's all the books coming in and being, I guess, catalogued and brilliant,
Etc.
etc. back out into the shop we go. Behind the scenes. Oh, and let's show them the carpet, because the carpet, which has Thoth or Tahot on it,
mascot.
and this carpet was specifically commissioned, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It's been made, I think, by hand, because the God of Wisdom is us.
It
It's
is.
been on logo for a while, so I don't know how old the carpet is, but yeah, it's been here for.
Even the carpet is magical. And over here we have, I'll just do a quick pan around because we haven't got time to show you every part of the shop today, but this is obviously, we've got a lot of Eastern philosophy here. You've got the yoga section, the Vedas. Some amazing, beautiful books.
I love this one.
Oh,
So pretty.
yeah, that is stunning, isn't it? Beautiful. So there you go. So there you have it, Watkins Books. Beautiful place to come to escape the Muggle world and delve into the magical world.